raise money to generate revenue for your nonprofit. We're always thinking about getting grants, doing fundraisers and things along that line, but there's so many other ways to generate revenue for your nonprofit, like creating a for-profit entity or venture to raise money.
Yes, yes. And we have a good example of that. IKEA is a nonprofit that owns a store,
Mhm.
and they use the profits from the store to support scholarships and things like that for the students who come through and create some of the furniture that is sold in the IKEA store.
Mhm.
So, yes.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think that's what we need to really hone in from too, because in this day and age, we need to have different streams of income and not just always depend on the community, because we are a business and we're like we want to help others with our business. And then there's so many different ways. You look at Goodwill.
Hmm.
Goodwill is one that they're doing it for the goodwill of the community too. They have the store, but they're also have a training program, and they also are selling stuff and hiring people, right, to do the work.
Yeah,
And that's one of the things when you're starting, if you create a business for your nonprofit, you want to make sure that it aligns with your nonprofit, with the mission of your nonprofit. You want
right.
to make sure that you're not just saying, I'm going to start this business because I want this business to go into this money, go into my organization. And the IRS may be like, well, that's just a business. So everything that you make over on your business is going to be taxable. Okay.
Right.
So we don't want to give you any tax information. We want you to everything that we say, go back and talk to your tax accountant on how you can really set up your nonprofit and how you can have a for-profit component. So some of the things that we've done in the past, if we've had this is back in the day, we had a video store. So our video store we used to hire our clients. Our clients would work there and we would teach them different skills. Basic skills is like alphabetizing all the videos, working a cash register, doing accounting, sales, things along that line. So it works within our mission to provide life skills trainings and educational trainings for our clients.
Yeah. So, and I'm also thinking that if you have a specific thing that you do within your nonprofit, you can monetize that, offer it as a, make offer it for sale. Am I
Mhm,
saying that correctly?
mhm, mhm. Yes.
But you can monetize it, and then that could be how you bring in revenue also for the nonprofit. Now, can you do that, Vanessa, without having to like actually create a whole new business?
Hmm.
Yes.
Absolutely. You
Yeah.
don't, if at all possible, you don't want to create a whole new business, but you want to make sure that it's definitely in line with your nonprofit status. You don't want to say, oh, okay, we're going to have a coffee shop, but that coffee shop isn't benefiting anybody but the public. It's not benefiting your community, it's not benefiting your staff or any of the clients that's coming into your program. You can't just be looking like another coffee shop. If so, then you need a separate entity. However, if it's working with your clients like Goodwill is doing, you don't need another entity. Like there's nonprofits that sell their t-shirts, may come up with have a good slogan or a good thing. They may sell this, but it's not something that they're doing year round, right?
Right.
And so you can definitely use your products
That
for.
sounds good. So
Mhm.
that's another thing, another stream of income could be swag, creating, swag. But I'm going to just say that's harder to sell if people don't know who you are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's probably a better idea to create something where there's an actual program that matches what your nonprofit is all about. So I remember we helped a lady get her, she was writing grants because she wanted to provide foster care for cats. And so what she could do is she could open up a coffee shop that actually has cats in the coffee shop. So I forget what they call them now, but they're like cat cafes.
Uh-huh.
And as people come in, they have the cats there. They can adopt the cats. They can just sit among the cats and pet them or whatever, and have their coffee. Then
Mhm.
her coffee shop matches her nonprofit. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then she can go even deeper and say she provided that as a therapeutic environment, right? So she could
Yeah.
take that if she provides trauma, she can have her clients and people come in to get therapy, you know.
Yeah.
that. And if you have any skills, like Antoinette was saying, like if you're a counselor or a therapist, or if you can take that and you can monetize that. You can
Yeah.
have your for-profit component and you can have a nonprofit component. You know, you can have a fee schedule for people who have a lot of enough money to pay for your services, and then those who don't have. And so those are good. And then also you could take that and you can provide training. If you train in anything, specialize in anything, you can monetize that. So you definitely want to monetize what it is that you're doing.
Yeah. You want to think of those unique skills that you have, and then think of ways that you can take those unique skills and make them not only benefit you but and the community and your nonprofit, but benefit um, the people that you serve.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then also remember this though. Starting a nonprofit is a lot of work. Running a nonprofit is a lot of work. And there's a lot of components to it. So when you set out to start another business, to support your nonprofit, you're running two businesses, so that's a whole lot of work. So you really want to focus on your mission. So if you're thinking about starting and looking at ways to generate revenue in a for-profit manner, you want to look at finding definitely how it streamlines within your nonprofit, because it's
Yeah.
a lot of work. With the video store we also had a dollar store. We did the same thing. It was a lot of work because we had to not only staff our treatment facility, but we also had to staff our dollar store and our video store. And you have the same problems. How am I going to get employees? Are they going to come to work today? Who's going to do this? So you really want to think about, are you really prepared to start a whole new venture? Okay.
Yeah.
I will look at starting something with the clients. Like say, for instance, there's so many, this is an idea. There's so many, those little like crickets, like we make our own t-shirts or you make your hats. You can create a store where you can print that for other people. You can print other people's t-shirts, because there's a lot of nonprofits in the community that just maybe want 5 or 10 t-shirts, or other businesses. You can do that on a small venue, and then have your clients. If you have clients right now, be the one that produces them. So they're learning these skills. And in
Yeah.
turn, you're teaching them how to become entrepreneurs and what it is that they can do. So always when you're looking at look at what can benefit your clients, so you can do your for-profit and your nonprofit together and it aligns with your mission. So but
Yeah.
before you do it, I want you to make sure you please talk to a tax accountant. So you make sure you don't get in trouble, because if you do it wrong, and you can have to pay taxes on it, and you can also be at risk of losing your nonprofit status. And remember this again, a nonprofit can own a for-profit, but a for-profit cannot own a nonprofit organization. So all we're saying is make sure you do your homework, but there are so many successful businesses that are generating income. Habitat for Humanity, right?
Yeah.
The YMCA. The YMCA is making money off the memberships to their gym and also some training that they're doing. So take a look at some of the other nonprofits and see what they're doing before you step onto this venture, and weigh the cost and the time.
Yeah.
Decide to start.
Salvation Army is another one, and Goodwill you already mentioned. So
Mhm,
just to throw
mhm.
those in.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and they can buy a franchise. You
Yeah.
can get, like, if you do want to do training for returning citizens, you maybe can get a Janpro franchise and have them do janitorial service. So there's so many things that you could do. When you're building your nonprofit, don't think outside the box. Think like there is no box. There is
Right.
no box. And just keep doing it and do it, but always stop, learn, weigh the costs before you
Yeah.
jump into it. All right. So thank you, and I hope this is beneficial for you. If you like the information we gave you, click the link below or click the UR code to find out more about what we're doing in the Nonprofit Founders Club. And nonprofits, keep rocking the world. We love you.